There is a task you know you should be doing right now. You have known about it for days. You are not confused about what it is or how to begin, and yet here you are, doing almost anything else. You tidy a drawer that did not need tidying. You tell yourself you will start in 10 minutes, and then you tell yourself that again. And underneath all of it, there is a quiet, familiar voice that says the same thing it always says. What is wrong with me? So you reach for the explanation everyone hands you. You are lazy. You lack discipline. You just need to want it more. It is the story we are all taught about procrastination, that it is a character flaw, a weakness of will, something a stronger, more serious person simply would not have. And because you believe that, you do the most natural thing in the world. You try to fix it with force. You promise to try harder tomorrow, but tomorrow the same thing happens, and the story only gets louder. I want to offer you a different explanation, one that the research actually supports. You are not avoiding the work, you are avoiding a feeling. Procrastination is not a problem of time management, it is a problem of emotion management, and that changes everything about how you fix it. In 2013, two psychologists, Tim Pitchell and Fuchsia Sirois, published a paper that reframed the whole subject. Their argument was simple. When you face a task, you do not just see the task, you feel something about it. Boredom, anxiety, resentment, the fear that you will try and it still will not be good enough. And the mind, faced with that bad feeling, does what minds do. It looks for relief. Pitchell and Sirois described it in one quietly devastating phrase: we give in to feel good. Putting the task off does not solve anything, but it makes the bad feeling go away right now. And that small hit of relief is the reward your brain is actually chasing. So procrastination is not laziness, it is mood repair. You are not dodging the work, you are dodging how the work makes you feel. You can even see this tension in the brain. In 2018, a team led by Caroline Schluter scanned the brains of hundreds of people and compared the chronic delayers with the doers. Two structures matter here: the amygdala, an ancient alarm system that scans for threat and warns you away from anything that might go badly, and the prefrontal cortex, the calm planner behind your forehead that decides what you actually do. In the people who struggled most to get started, the amygdala was larger and its connection to the brain's action control center was weaker. Think about what that means: a more sensitive alarm, a quieter line to the part of you that can override it. So when the task triggers a flicker of dread, the alarm shouts, and the planner cannot quite shout back. This is not weakness of character, this is a threat response, doing exactly what it evolved to do. It is just pointing at a spreadsheet instead of a predator. But there is one more piece, and it explains why the future never seems to win. The brain has a strange habit. It treats now as urgent and real, and treats later as faint and far away. Psychologists call it temporal discounting. We steeply discount any reward that has not arrived yet. The researcher Hal Hershfield studied this in a remarkable way. He put people in a scanner and asked them to think about their future self, themselves, years from now. And for many people, the brain lit up, almost as if they were thinking about a stranger. Sit with that. The version of you who has to finish this task, the one who is tired, behind, and disappointed tomorrow morning, your brain barely recognizes them as you. So of course you protect present you from the bad feeling. Future you is a stranger, and we are very good at letting strangers deal with their own problems. The psychologist Piers Steele pulled all of this into one tidy equation. Your motivation to start something, he said, rises with two things: how much you expect to succeed and how much you value the result. And it falls with two others: how impulsive you are and how far away the reward is. Look at what that tells you. When the payoff is distant, motivation collapses. When you doubt you will do it well, motivation collapses again. This is not a moral failing hidden in the maths. It is just a description of when starting feels possible and when it does not. And every part of it is something you can actually move. So now you can see why the usual advice does not work. Just have more discipline. Stop being so lazy. If procrastination were a willpower problem, willpower would fix it. But it is an emotion problem, and willpower aimed at an emotion does something cruel. It adds shame on top of the dread that started the whole thing. You feel bad about the task, then you feel bad about avoiding it, and feeling worse makes the urge for relief stronger, not weaker. So you reach for escape again, and the loop tightens. Trying harder is not a neutral act here. It is pouring fuel on the exact fire you're trying to put out. So let us put the old story down. You are not lazy. You are not broken. You are a person whose alarm system is doing its job a little too well. The task is not the enemy. The feeling the task brings up is the thing you have been running from. And a feeling is something you can work with. That is not a character flaw. That is a skill you have simply never been taught. So here is the shift. Manage the emotion, not the clock. First, name the feeling. Before you decide you can't start, ask what the task actually makes you feel. Bored? Anxious? Afraid it won't be good enough? This is not just gentle advice. When the neuroscientist Matthew Lieberman had people simply put a feeling into words, activity in the amygdala, the alarm, measurably dropped. Naming the threat turns the volume down. Second, shrink the first step. Not the whole task, the first 2 minutes of it. Open the document, write one ugly sentence, lay out the running shoes. The dread is attached to the size of the thing. Make the first step small enough that the alarm barely notices and you slip under it. Third, forgive the last time. This one surprises people. In a study of students facing exams, those who forgave themselves for procrastinating before the first exam procrastinated less before the next one. Forgiveness lowered the shame, and lower shame meant less to run from. So when you catch yourself mid-delay, do not pile on. Say, that happened, and I can begin now. And fourth, close the gap to the reward. Remember the equation, distance kills motivation. So give present you something now. A tiny finish, a tick on a list, 2 minutes that future you will be grateful for. You are not trying to become a more disciplined person. You are just lowering the threat, one feeling, one small step at a time. The task was never really the problem. It was the feeling you could not bear to sit with. And the next time that blank page stares back at you and the old voice asks what is wrong with you, you will have a kinder, truer answer. Nothing is wrong with you. You are just afraid of how this might feel. And feelings, unlike character, can be worked with. So begin small. Begin afraid if you have to. Just begin. If this gave you a gentler way to understand your own mind, stay a while. There is a quiet idea like this waiting for you every week. Subscribe and let's keep making sense of it together.